Yeah. So this track is the first song of My Echo, My Shadow, My Covers in Me. Can you explain the title of that album? And like, I feel like that was really well thought out.
Well, it wasn't the most original thought. It's a play on an old folk song,
Okay.
um, but it felt appropriate because at the time, I didn't, none of us saw anyone for the longest time, right? This was a way for me to, with today's technology, not feel as alone and feel like I was doing something with the community, even though um, I was alone with my echo and my shadow. um, so I was able to reach out to other artists and kind of hang out with them and feel normal for a second. So instead of, turning on the computer to look at terrible news, I was able to turn it on and hear my old friends, sing with me and made me not feel as alone. So that's the aspect of the covers in me. And everybody was so gracious and helpful and put their best effort and talent forward with all the different tracks they sang on.
Yeah, and it's the album's not out for 4 months. Is it really hard sitting with this right now and like not being able to add more?
Uh, I'm just happy it's starting now because I've been sitting on this for longer than I would like to sit on it. It's been done for a minute, but with a covers album, there's you want to partner up with the original writers and make sure, excuse me, that you have their blessing.
Okay.
So that was a bit of an annoying thing because it took a long time, but I'm just happy it's coming out. And it also gives me time to finish up the next AWOLNATION record of original songs, I should say, which I'm getting really close to as well.
Oh, that's awesome. What was the first one you did to kick it all off? The first cover?
I did Beds Are Burning by Midnight Oil.
That's awesome. Why was that the first one? Did it just happen that way?
Again, it just felt like something. Every time that song came on a playlist, my wife and I would sing it top of our lungs, like driving around. I'm like, I gotta cover this. And of course, she thought, like, who do you think you are covering the song? Kind of, and she's right. But I thought I'll prove her wrong. And then I reached out to Tim Mickelrath, I think is how I say his name, from Rise Against. So he sang on that song.
One of the things that stuck out to me upon first look of what's going to be on this album was Material Girl.
Yeah.
How and why?
What's more important, the how or the why, I suppose, is the question. But it's actually a hard ass song. The drums slam, the bass player is doing some wicked synths. Are in the 80s, she'd play a lot of Madonna. And that was always a song that stood out to me. And it was super fun and lighthearted, but a very aggressively recorded and produced song. So I thought, like, my drummer can play this really good. I know I'd love to try to sing this. And I tried, and it was really hard, but I did it. And then I thought, what's the craziest combination for a guest? And it was obviously Taylor Hanson.
Obviously, like when I saw that, I'm like, this is great and so random, and I love it. And I heard it, and it honestly sounds amazing. I feel like the two of you nailed it.
Well, here's the craziest thing is I sang the whole thing alone first because I didn't know who would say yes to do her song,
Yeah.
And it's way out of my range, but I tried it anyways. And good things happen when you try to sing songs that are out of your range. I think that's always been the case with me. And I tried it, and then Taylor sang the whole thing and gave it back to me. I'm like, this is, he sounds like Michael Jackson or something on the song. So I use a lot more of him on that song than I'd use other artists on other songs. Usually it'd be like we would switch off verses, but he killed it so hard that I used him for both verses and I just sang the choruses. And that's probably my favorite vocal performance, or sorry, I should say most surprising vocal performance on the whole record, because he was just so good. And I should tell you, and I'll never share this with anyone, he sent me a live video of him doing it. He's like, what do you think of this? And he just did it a cappella and sang it, and it was amazing. And I was like, this is, first of all, what courage does he have to just send me an a cappella vocal video? and he was just so good. And he's such a good, those guys, those brothers, man, they're very talented for sure.
Yeah. Was there anybody else that like you had slated that you're like, all right, if Taylor says no, I'm going to try with this person?
Yeah, there was, and he said no, so I don't want to.
Okay.
This other artist, but Taylor's way cooler probably, than this other artist would be. But so that was really cool that he said yes. And originally he's like, I don't know, I don't know if I could sing that song. I'm like, just try, just
do it.
What's the worst that can happen? And so yeah, so he did that, and that blew my mind.
What cover on here like kind of got you the most excited that you're like, I can't believe this is actually happening?
Well, that one for sure, but I would say Alone Again, Naturally. It was a song that was really, really difficult lyrically to sing without crying because it's such a heavy song. And it's been used in a lot of comedy moments, in pop culture, but it's just such a sad song, and it's nowhere near as good as the original, but I felt like I did the best I could with it, and I'm really proud of that one.
Yeah, and
it
then
features my friends in the country band Midland, and
Midland's so cool.
Totally
like I was excited to see that one too, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So Cameron, the bass player, actually I was living with Cameron when I was broke and like left for dead and made the first AWOL record. And Cam ended up directing the video for Sale, Not Your Fault, and Kill Your Heroes. And then went on to be in Midland and direct Bruno Mars videos and become his own deal. So definitely a full circle moment. And I love those guys too.
And how is it working with Jewel? I mean, and I was so excited to hear Take a Chance on Me. That is one that one felt also like just as surprising as Material Girl.
Yeah, I forgot about that one actually. Jewel is one of the most beautiful people in the world, probably.
Yes.
I would say, I mean, I don't know if you've heard her podcast.
She's also hilarious.
She's hilarious. She's completely badass. She's so talented. She's such a great singer. And we met through a mutual friend. She was doing a benefit, and I did like an acoustic cover of a Beck song, which is how I was introduced to Beck. Actually, full circle again. There's a lot of weird intertwined storylines to this covers album, but she just sent a little video saying thank you, and then I asked for her number, which sounds crazy, I know, but I asked for her number for the mutual friend, and I said, hey, I'm actually doing this covers album. Would you like to take a chance on me? Just kidding. Would you like to do ABBA song? And she said, I would love to do an ABBA song. And that was another one that took a long time because she was and didn't have a studio. So I was like, they were great. They were so professional and mapped out well. And I don't know, I'm on a song with Jewel. That's like a childhood. I mean, when I was 15, I was head over heels in love with her. When I was 15, I was 16, so
it's a bucket list thing, I feel like.
Now we're basically married, we're on a song together.
You are. Is there it sounds like you had most of these covers kind of like ready. Is there anyone that you worked with that you guys decided together what song worked for the 2 or 3 of you or however many people were on it?
Weirdly, everybody just said yes to my crazy ideas and kind of jumped on the ship, and we just, rode off into the sunset. So like I usually did all of the busy work, and mapped out the song, got it sounding somewhat like, me, I suppose, production wise, and then sent. I wanted to make it as easy as possible on each singer and say like, okay, here it is. I even sang the part for you. You could single it out, see what I did. Here are the lyrics printed out. You could just sing it on your phone if you want and send it to me and I'll make it work. And everybody was pretty cool. It was easy.
Yeah. Is there any cover? Because you said you had like a list of them for a while that you wanted to do that you're like, okay, I can't pull this one off.
Yeah, that's a good question. I've always wanted to do Hotel California, but you just can't do that.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't do it, you know?
Because
Like, I
then
remember
everybody's like, wow, he's going for it.
yeah, and you shouldn't do that, you know. And I'm not sure I should have done any of these songs, honestly, but it was just what I wanted to do at the time. And you know, I remember like playing with another band at a festival and they covered Bohemian Rhapsody, and I thought like they did a pretty good job, but I thought like that's pretty insane to do. Like are you going to cover Stairway to Heaven? I don't know, you know.
Well, and I think the difference between that and what you did here is looking at this project, yes, like all of it sounds incredible, but looking at the variety of genres you did, it's obvious that like this is fun. You know what I mean? And that you like weren't taking yourself so completely seriously with it. Whereas if you're doing Bohemian Rhapsody or Hotel California, people are like, okay.
Yeah, you better be the best of all time if you're doing that, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Well, is there one song in particular that you're most excited about on this whole thing that like you can't wait for everybody to hear?
I can't say that there is. I mean, you know, we just kind of went through the list. Well, you know, Maniac was a ridiculous
Oh yeah.
idea for sure from Flashdance, and I actually recently watched Flashdance, and that blew my mind too. Not for the first time, but for the second time, I think, since I was a little kid. My mom used to always watch it. Another ridiculous film, you know. And that that song is like, it's a pop song that everybody knows, but it's really complicated with the different chords. And so that was actually quite difficult to do. But Connor from Nothing But Thieves did a great job on
Are
that.
you going to be doing music videos to accompany any of these?
Yeah, I did. We just finished the video for Wind of Change. I think that comes out on when the song comes out, which is Friday. I don't know when this will air, when I should say that is, but that'll come out. And then doing a video for Beds Are Burning, probably for Material Girl as well. Material Girl is a tricky.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you're gonna do with that one.
For sure. I don't know what to do. Me too, because I don't know, honestly. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's a lighthearted project, and hopefully it brings some either introduces some people to some of these songs that have been written by great artists. Beck on Eye in the Sky blew my mind that he would do that, honestly. I always looked at, I mean, all of these artists, it really blew my mind that they want to be a part of it, but Beck seems certainly untouchable to me. You know, Sea Change was a big record for me and everything he's done. And then I met him through the charity I did with Jewel, and he said he liked the cover I did. I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe I'm like, oh, maybe I could get him to, you know.
Yeah, the time is now. Shoot your shot.
Yeah, exactly. And he said, yeah, sure. And he did it. And he had like some really, you know, productive comments on the mix that were smart. And I did those. And that's one of my favorites too. Eye in the Sky, Alan Parsons Project. And apparently he liked the song too. The fun thing is all of the original writers had to hear it and kind of give their blessing for us to, you know, roll it out the right way. And they all seem to like what I did, I guess. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
It's like you're good at this whole music thing, you know? Maybe make a career out of it.
Trying, you know? I keep trying.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down and talking to us, Aaron of AWOL Nation. And I can't wait to hear the rest of the album. Everything I've heard so far is incredible.
Thank you so much. And tell Laszlo I said hello. And
I will.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Have a good one.
All right, you too.